Hi, and welcome to this partner showcase. My name is Guy Bartram. I'm the Director of Product Marketing in VMware for our cloud providers. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Frans Basson from BCX in South Africa. So Frans, welcome. Thank you very much for your time today.
Hi Guy, and thanks for the session and for the opportunity to have a chat to you. My name is Frans Basson. I'm responsible for what we call cloud and infrastructure solutions in BCX in South Africa. Primarily looking at our data center environment, our infrastructure environment, but then very specifically also our cloud environment and our VMware virtualization that our cloud environment is based on.
Thanks, Frans. So first of all, let's start with a little bit about BCX. Obviously, you guys are located in South Africa. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the services you provide and the VMware services that you offer today?
Yeah, Guy, we are basically end-to-end service provider in South Africa. We're part of the bigger telecom group in South Africa, so we have access to the telecommunication network, quite good access to the telecommunication network in South Africa. Within our BCX environment, therefore, also really good data connectivity services that we deliver to our customers. But with that also, we are this end-to-end digital service provider within the African environment, not only in South Africa, but also into Africa. So we're trying to combine these local market knowledge that we have into and our expertise that we have in the local environment with the world-class technologies and services that we can partner with and work with, like the VMware environment, and basically create unique solutions for our customers in our unique South African context and situation. So from an industry vertical point of view, we do cover all of the major industry verticals: healthcare, retail, manufacturing. We have the public services. So all of the major, let's say, vertical industries we cover. Also from a services spread point of view, we cover the application environment, the data networks, as well as the infrastructure component, which is part of that is our cloud environment then. So the piece that we're obviously talking about today is this cloud, and our cloud is based on a VMware certified environment. Yeah. So we do deliver our cloud platform from in multiple formats to our customers. So it varies from really your real cloud environment, which is like a public cloud, like a hyperscaler kind of environment, just more customized, more bespoke for customers, right down to the level of a bespoke client-owned VMware environment or cloud environment, which is on-prem at a customer site. So our cloud services really range through all of the different options that's available, which also then, of course, create that flexibility for our customers that in the South African market is often necessary to land the customers and to keep the customers happy.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of solutions there and a lot of different capabilities that BCX can bring to play for customers. So when we're talking about your cloud and your cloud verified infrastructure services that you provide today, how does that help customers who are looking to move to cloud? What does cloud verified mean to them from the services that you offer?
So the customers that BCX deal with, which is primarily your, let's say, enterprise and larger scale customers. We also have a lot of smaller customers, but we primarily deal with enterprise customers. And moving to our cloud environment means that we need to provide a service that's enterprise grade. And what the cloud verified environment or the cloud verified solution delivered to us is that enterprise grade environment, which is extremely stable. It is predictable. It creates the stability, the risk mitigation, everything that our clients are looking for. It provides all of that to them. So it gives us that environment that really is the sweet spot in terms of the customer requirements. Yes, of course, the smaller customers also have a requirement for stability and so forth. And because we deploy our cloud environment, everything on the same VMware platform, it gives the same benefits to our smaller customers as well. But it's really built on the enterprise grade, enterprise approach to delivering a cloud service.
Right. And that makes absolute sense. So basically, customers are able to use familiar tools and tool sets that they have on their enterprise premise in your cloud, or you are able to offer those as managed services to them.
Yes, very much so. So we often have customers that has already potentially had a VMware installation on their site, and we basically migrate them to our environment, which leaves them with the same familiar feel, familiar tools that they have been using all along, just to continue their production on them, depending on what the services and how they would structure it. So, but it does create an environment where customers seamlessly can move from a current environment or let's say a customer premise environment, owned environment, onto our cloud environment, and it creates very little disruption, very little risk for them in terms of the learning curve to understand the new environment.
Yeah, and of course they're also benefiting from the fact that BCX will be there to kind of manage the process, the onboarding, but also the target cloud that they're moving to is a validated, certified environment, which is kept up to date and maintained by BCX.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's our goal, is that we remove all of that complexity from the customer, where they used to have to take care of the updating, the security, security is one of our topics, obviously, in all our customers' mind. We create that environment with the Cloud Verified that create the right security context, the right stability, so they don't have to take care of that complexity anymore. We make sure that we have the right level of skills and the right number of certifications in our organization to really make sure they have the stability and the service from us.
Great. And just looking at the target end environment, is that offered to customers as self-service? You know, what sort of flavors do you have for customers to consume?
Now, we do have different flavors, and it really depends on customer needs. So in the South African context, we experience that some customer wants to do their own managed, and from that point of view, we deliver to them our own managed environment. So we create a tenant, and they fully take control of their tenant. They create their own consumption, and effectively we bill them at the end of the month for the consumption-based environment.
Yeah.
In other cases, we have customers who require from us to deliver the full value chain, the full stack. So effectively, we would do the provisioning for them, we would do the setup, everything for them, and we would provide the managed services on top, like the operating system management, the database management, all of the added services on top. So the VMware environment enabled us to create that hybrid environment, that we could both have a managed environment, meaning we managed on behalf of our customers, but also enabled our customers to manage on their own, from their own resources in their own environment. So it does create that benefit to the customer, that they can choose the flexibility or the option they would want to use.
Yeah, and how far do your managed services kind of go up the chain if you're looking at the kind of the level of the managed services? Is it to the point that a customer can phone you up and say, hey, I need a database for this project I'm doing, this is what I need, you go and design the correct one? Or is it managed service up to you take care of everything up to the OS and virus protection, perhaps?
No, certainly we can take care of everything up to including application management. So in other words, the database component as well. We have a division that takes full care of application design, development, and of course the database underneath that. So if a customer would need a database or an application, we could spec that, and we could provide that within the context, also provided on our cloud environment. So
awesome.
yeah, certainly we can go full up the stack. Also, I mean, database versions, just to link a little bit to that, we deliver different versions of databases that we can support on the cloud environment. We've got the SQL versions, the Meridian, MySQL, there's an Oracle version as well that we run separately. But in effect, we can deliver most of the database solutions that's out there. We can choose any one of them and deliver them accordingly.
Oh, that's brilliant. And that's, you know, a lot of customers, certainly I'm hearing a lot of customers are looking to move away from all the operational stuff that they really don't want, to focus on the business, which is, you know, utilizing the applications and databases. Okay, so obviously you guys have been partners with VMware for a long time now. How would you say the partnership with VMware has evolved to help you solve some of those customer challenges that you see in moving to cloud and running a cloud solution?
Guy, yes. So my experience has been that whenever we want to expand our services into a new level, then we could easily and really effectively make use of the VMware knowledge and support that we get to position those to get the right, let's say, configuration, the right context behind delivering the service most optimal in place. So from a growth of what we're doing, VMware has been there all along, helping us on the journey from moving from primarily infrastructure as a service into the Kubernetes, the containerization environments, also into the application space. That is our sort of the journey that we are on into the future to achieve all of those. So just from a growth planning, how do we get to the end goal of where we want to be? And we'll never reach the end. We'll always find something new to do. But going on that path of this whole cloud journey, VMware has been instrumental to that. And then on the other side, of course, from a support point of view, whenever we run into any operational problems, then we have the relationship with VMware to very quickly and very effectively solve those problems. And unfortunately, you always have IT problems. That's why we are here. So it is important to know that you have in the background that relationship in place and that the agreements in place to make sure that when you run into those problems, you have the full support. So certainly VMware has been instrumental to us achieving our cloud journey to where we are now and into the future of where we would want to be in the next few years.
Friends, that's great to hear. I'm very pleased to hear that VMware is providing all the backing and support that you guys need. So let's have a little chat. Just what sort of results do customers see by working with BCX? Is there any particular sort of customer example you'd like to just highlight in terms of the cloud verified endpoint and the customer's journey to that cloud?
I have a specific customer example, but just in broad strokes, because not sharing the customer confidential information. But effectively, the customer came to us and asked for a cloud solution, and the customer was extremely price sensitive and concerned about the migration risk and difficulties associated.
Yeah.
So through our cloud verified environment, we were able to provide them with a price point that was really competitive compared to what was out there in the market. So they could achieve their price point, they could achieve the, let's say, the cost basis that they needed to achieve within the environment. But also from a migration, the migration was made really easy, sorry, and risk-free through the tools and the methodologies and the tools that's provided by the VMware environment enabled us to do the migrations really seamless and risk-free for the customer. So the customer could create or could achieve their migration goals without the risk associated.
Oh, that's great to hear. That's great to hear, friends. I mean, one of the things, certainly we are quite sensitive to is obviously pricing and the value that customers and partners get from their VMware solutions. And as you've explained, enterprise class services, they do have a cost associated with them. And obviously, when you're layering on managed services on top of that, there's an additional cost of that. It's not always a apples for apples comparison with other providers, and particularly hyperscale providers. Although I know certainly cloud providers, our cloud provider partners are often measured against hyperscale as a as a benchmark. But equally, I think really important to kind of highlight, and you've alluded to it already, is solution roadmap and evolution of infrastructure as a service to platform and application level services is critical, because customers are looking for a cloud that's going to have the longevity to support their journey as they go forward, and really also give them some of that public cloud, hyperscale cloud experience, but in their jurisdiction, in their country, and under their control. So just in that kind of sense, what does the roadmap look like? Is there any upcoming offerings that you'd like to share with the audience?
Oh, good, guys. So we certainly, and I guess that's where most of the South African providers started the journey, but we've moved beyond that. The infrastructure as a service has provided us to that stable platform and a trusted environment for our customers that we could build on with the next level of services. So we have started the journey into the containerization, the Kubernetes environments. We've also looked at we already have disaster recovery environments in place, but we're looking at expanding that materially. We're in the process of that expansion. We have backup as a service in place, but we're expanding backup as a service, so that's going to grow quite nicely. And then the VMware and AWS and Azure, if we do not provide it in our own cloud environment, we can still provide it also to customers within the context of the hyperscalers. What we certainly do provide to customers is the localization in South Africa. We often have these limitations from a law point of view that talk to data sovereignty and that we need to keep the data within the South African borders. And we continue to build on solutions that would enable customers to have that control over that data and know that the data is within the South African borders, within the South African laws. So we continue to build our solutions in line with those requirements and how we can grow the customer base based on those requirements of our local customers.
Okay, that's great. And just in line with that, you guys are recognized by VMware as sovereign cloud providers, and as being a sovereign cloud provider, as meeting the kind of requirements around data sovereignty, data jurisdictional control, and data locality. And that's all underpinned by your cloud verified solution, right?
That's quite correct, yeah. Yeah, our the BCX deliver to a lot of our public sector customers within the South African context, and that was enabled by our solutions that's in South Africa, obviously locally built, and that our the cloud verified solutions provided by VMware enable us to have the right security around that, the right processes and procedures that's required for that data sovereignty environment. So we certainly build our environment around that requirement of the local governments, the local environments that by law is not permitted to have the data outside of the South African borders.
Okay, thanks, Frans. So almost my last question. We've talked about a lot of different aspects of cloud and of what BCX provides today. If you were to sum it up from a unique value proposition, what is BCX? What is BCX's unique value proposition, and why should customers work with BCX?
It's always difficult to really differentiate a cloud solution, because a cloud solution is a cloud solution if you really, as most people will say to you. Mm-hmm. But I do believe that BCX provides something unique. The first one is not really a cloud topic. It is more an interconnectivity topic. So BCX has this high-speed ACI network with gigabit internet interconnectivity links. And it's something that we haven't spoke about, but the BCX VMware environment and cloud environment spans 5 data centers at the moment, which is interconnected by high-speed interconnectivity. And it enables us to move workloads between these data centers while the customers stay connected to all of that. Yes, of course, there's a bit of configuration and things that we need to make it work, but at the end of the day, we can deliver customer workloads from any of our data centers, which is geographically in South Africa dispersed over a kilometer range of probably about 1,500 kilometers. So from a DR capability point of view, we are able to deliver really robust solutions to our customers. So the first one is that interconnectivity in our data centers that we have and the robustness of that solutions. Also, from an overall solution point of view, we have the whole service management stack. It means we can deliver the full stack of, if you have a problem, you can phone me anytime, not me, my service desk, any time of the day or night, depending on the customer, also me. But in any case, we have the full stack. We can deliver the full solution. So it's not only a piece of the solution that the customer can rely on. From a robustness point of view, we currently claim a 99.9 infrastructure availability and a 5.9 operating system availability. And that is because we make use of the VMware environment and the cloud verified environment. It enables us to, if the infrastructure below fails, we can seamlessly move customers to other infrastructure and they continue with their operations without any interruption. So at the moment, we have this really stable from a customer point of view environment. Yeah, and then yes, of course, as I mentioned earlier, our managed services, we can deliver the full stack of managed services on top of this. We can build the solution that a customer needs according to their design. And then I think another really interesting one is we create the flexibility for customers. And yes, of course, all of the cloud environments create the flexibility, but BCX go really into create what the customer wants and not work according to a cookie cutter environment where you get exactly the same regardless of who you are. If my customer needs this unique setup, this unique configuration and architecture, we'll do our best to work with the customer to define that architecture and get to something. And again, VMware delivered to us that flexibility to create within a standardized environment, within that standardized structure that creates the stability. We still create the flexibility to our customers that they can enable their business goals or achieve their business goals.
Brilliant. That's I mean that there's a load of really good unique value propositions there that I'm very happy to hear. So Franz, this is fantastic. So how should customers get in contact with BCX to find out more about your offerings?
So BCX obviously is available on the internet as a public website that customers can go to, and that's probably the easiest place to go. On that website, you will find telephone numbers, email addresses, and our solution offerings. Our website is www.bcx.co.za, and customers can gladly go there. They will find our solution offerings and be able to contact either through a request to be contacted or through a telephone call can get hold of us. So yeah.
Franz, it's been very enlightening to talk to you today about BCX. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all luck with your future cloud base and future customer installs.
Well, thank you very much. It was really a pleasure talking to you guys, and looking forward to our next interaction.